Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Brown, the webmaster of MichaelIcebergMusic.com, and you see before you Michael Iceberg himself. Hello Michael.
Hello.
We are going to shoot another Ask Michael today. And Michael, what I'm going to ask you here, what I would like for you to tell us about is, as a lot of folks know, you made an appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson with the Iceberg machine. And not really a question, but just I'd like you to tell everyone a little bit more about that experience. Tell us what it was like to be on The Tonight Show, anything interesting that happened behind the scenes, any interesting stories, anything like that. Tell us about your Tonight Show experience, Michael.
Well, actually, there was a lot that went on for that Tonight Show experience. I don't know if many of the people seeing this would know, but the night I was on the Carson Show, they had Martin Mull and Margot Kidder on, and Johnny, of course, and I was the close of the show that night.
Yeah.
And they had decided they were giving me an 8-minute slot. And
that's a long pass for a musical artist.
yeah, and that was how long it was at the end of the show. They had given me 8 minutes, so I prepared this whole 8-minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
I worked as hard as I could, getting as much. I was trying to do about a 3-hour show in 8 minutes. So they have a green room, and you're watching the show in there, and I happen not to drink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not regularly, and that particular night, I believe, was the night of the day that Johnny had separated from his wife.
Oh, wow.
And there was a great deal of drinking going on in the green room.
Yeah.
And I was watching all of this going on, and I'm really a fan of Martin Mull,
mm-hmm.
and I knew who Margot Kidder was, but I had never met her before.
Yeah.
But the show's going on, and I'd have to tell you, during that day, I had met Doc Severinsen.
Yeah.
And Doc was really interested in all this stuff.
Yeah.
He really got into it. And he told Johnny how great it was to be. And,
neat.
and I had gotten pretty nervous because when the machine would open up, it would get shaken quite a bit.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of movement. And I really had this terrible fear that it would open up and something terrible would go wrong. Which often did happen, but on the Tonight Show, it's like a one-shot thing. They don't stop and start again. And
yeah.
It's live, and whatever happens in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just before I was to go on, they kind of went along, and they came back in and asked me if I could do it in 4 minutes. I said, well, gosh, I really can't do it in 4 minutes. They asked me if I could just go faster and do it in 4 minutes. I said, well, and so Johnny said, well, they let Koppel go along, and he was referring to Ted Koppel.
Yeah.
In the show Nightline. So he said, we're going to go along. And they did.
Awesome.
So they let me do my whole 8 minutes.
That's great.
And while I didn't meet Johnny after the show, I was kind of disappointed because there was no time left.
Yeah.
When I finished, the show was over. It should have been over like 4 minutes before that.
Yeah, they went right into credits there.
Yeah, but the audience was superb and wonderful. They really made me feel terrific, and
that's great.
I was out in the parking lot while the bus was being loaded.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson pulled up and told me how wonderful it had been.
Oh, that's great.
He was just really super nice.
That's great.
super nice.
Marvelous.
And I had kind of thought, well, I was on the Carson show and I didn't meet Johnny Carson, McMahon, or any of that stuff.
That's great. I'm glad somebody was able to get a copy of that and put it up on YouTube so that folks can see it.
What is it? A copy of the? I haven't looked at it.
It's
it's an actual.
I think someone copied it from a VHS tape. We've got it linked on the website on the videos of the Michael Iceberg appearance on the Tonight Show, and it's the whole segment. It's up there. So.
Well, I don't know if I could watch it. I don't know if I could. I was, well, I know I was really fat, which is not a terrible thing to be. It's just, it's a terrible thing if you're going to be on.
They say TV makes you bigger.
Well, I was big enough. I probably was about 255.
My goodness.
I'm just guessing. I had that lab coat on.
Yeah.
That was so you couldn't tell how fat I was. But somehow you could.
I think everybody had a great time, though. I think that was for your fans to see you on the Tonight Show. I think that was probably a pretty amazing experience for everybody.
God, it was great for even for just my mom.
That's great.
My mother was blown away.
Oh, wow, that's great. Well, thank you, sir. This is another official Ask Michael segment. And keep visiting the website, folks. We'll get another one up really, really soon.
Charlie, the website's great.
Thank you, sir.
I just love seeing the guest book and what people have written. It's really been
Thank you.
Wonderfully inspiring to me.
Thanks a lot. All righty, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, sir.
Bye-bye.